Let's speak with Gerard Batten, UKIP MEP, and the leader of UKIP. Gerard Batten, good morning.
Good morning, Ian.
Theresa May says this is the best deal available.
Well, I don't know what words fail me, really. I mean, I believe it's been designed to fail. It's been set up so that it doesn't satisfy leavers or remainers. It's meant to achieve something that is obviously worse than actual membership. And I think that's been done with open-ended terms, of course, on the worst possible terms, with an open-ended transition period, which can be extended up to the date of the next general election, if necessary, which will be 2022. And I believe that's been done deliberately in order to enable a Conservative Party and Labour Party to actually campaign to take us back in 4 years' time, in 2022. I think this has all been done deliberately. There never was going to be a deal, Ian, as I've said, over and over again, because the EU has no incentive to offer you a good deal. It doesn't want us to leave. The whole approach to this has been completely wrong. We've gone there as a supplicant asking how we can leave, and of course this is what you end up with. Rather than going there as the fifth biggest economy in the world, one of the biggest trading partners of the EU, they sell us far more than we sell them. We've got a £95 billion trade imbalance, and we should have said to them, we're going to leave, this is how we're going to do it. And then we tell them how it's going to work. And if it had been done that way, then we could have left 2 years ago.
Some people are with lots of calls to BBC Kent at the weekend as well on this, Gerard, saying, well, actually, we're passionate leavers, and we've got to support this deal because it is the only deal that's there, and it's a bit leavery. It might not be perfect, but it's work in progress.
Well, far from perfect. Like I said to you, people on both sides of the argument will concede that it's actually worse than actual membership because it leaves us in a very servile position where we have to pay them money, accept their laws, have those laws decided and interpreted by the Court of Justice of the European Union. At the same time, we have no representation in the Council or the Parliament. Not that that's democratic anyway, because we've only got about 8 or 9% of the say, and we never win any arguments anyway. But at least we don't even have the fig leaf of democracy anymore. So it's appalling. Is Mrs May totally incompetent, or is this deliberate? And I can't believe somebody who's become Prime Minister is that incompetent, and you have to think that it's deliberate and it's been set up to fail.
She's going on a national tour.
Well,
she's going to tour the country, telling everybody why I assume this is a workable solution.
Well, surely we had a vote to leave. It was in the government's hands to actually come up with a leaving process and the leaving arrangements, which they've now done. Why is she trying to sell it to the electorate? Government already has a mandate to do it, even if they did it incompetently. I'd rather they did it competently. But what's the result of that tour going to be? It's got to go through the House of Commons. They've got to vote on that, and that's debatable whether they will actually pass it or not. It then has to be voted on in the European Parliament. That's probably going to happen in either December or January. So I don't know who she's going to persuade of what, because I think that the attitude of Remainers and Leavers isn't really going to change very much. My personal view would say there's probably more people on the Leave side now than they were during the referendum, because they've all seen the Project Fear was actually founded on nothing but lies. So I don't quite understand who she's going to persuade of what. And then the whole thing is going to be another disaster like everything else that she touches.
Final point, Gerard Batten. Do you think you'll be around to continue this debate? Your previous leader, Nigel Farage, sat in this very studio just last week and said that he's got no confidence in you at all. In fact, there should be a vote of no confidence in you.
Right. Well, I think, thinking about this, Ian, I think that's got more to do with Nigel's damaged ego than it's got to do with anything else, because I think he just can't stand the fact that UKIP has survived post his leadership. And not only has it survived, we're now growing. We're getting more members in. We've had an influx of members over the last few days. I'm going to get the update on the figures this morning. More money's coming in. We're very, very sound financially now. We're in the black. And our polling was up to 8% last weekend. So, and in fact, there is a site called Political Light, which did a poll on this, and they polled about 2,500 people, I think, and there was 94% in my favour. So I think Nigel was out of step with Henry Bolton. That was a disaster when he recommended him. And he's still lost his touch. Well, he has lost his touch, I think, if he now thinks that...
He thinks you have a fascination with Tommy Robinson, I think was part of what he was saying, Gerard Batten. Why would you be wanting to get into bed with Tommy Robinson, a man whose image around the country is not a particularly positive one, in fact, quite the opposite for many people?
His image may be founded on a lot of black propaganda, which isn't necessarily true. Tommy's just one element of what I'm doing, and of course he's got followers on Facebook of about 1.5 million people, and we are trying to reach out lots of people and get them to join. This morning we're launching a new £4 a month membership fee, and I very much hope that via Tommy Robinson and via lots of other avenues we'll be able to bring on a lot more members.
Okay, I sense, Gerard, we will speak again on this issue. Gerard Batten, the leader of UKIP.